This is how you can add double jumping to your Scratch games. This is frequently used in so many games and it's really a super cool feature. Right here, I have a basic movement script that moves the cat along the X direction. Here's what you need to do to add a jumping and a gravity mechanism. To begin with, we'll need two different variables. The first can be called y_vel to keep track of the velocity of the cat in the y direction. The second is has jumped. I'll add a question mark at the end to indicate that it's a Boolean variable that will only store a true or false value. At the beginning, set both these variables to 0. The sprite isn't moving along the y-axis, and plus 0 represents false in the sense that the cat has not jumped at this point. We'll use the hasJumped variable in such a way that it will be set to 1 while the cat is in the air and 0 while the cat is on the ground. Great. Now at the side, grab a when up arrow key is pressed block. This is when we must give the signal for the cat to jump. But first we must check if the cat is already in the air. The hasJump variable comes very handy here. If this is false, then we can make it true and also bump up the y velocity. That's it for this script, but of course we must get the cat to follow the y velocity along the vertical axis in the main script. This is quite simple, just change y by the y velocity. Adding gravity here is very easy. Gravity would just lower the sprite's y velocity while it is in the air. So here, just check if the hasJumped variable is 1, and if it is, then change the y velocity by -2. The last part is to just stop all of this when the sprite has hit the ground. We wouldn't want this to continue otherwise. Here, I'll just keep the ground as -120. If the y position is below this, then we set the y velocity to 0. After all, the sprite should no longer fall down. Also, the sprite may be a little bit off below, so we need to bring it up to the ground once again. This won't be noticeable for the player, but it's very important to have this in. Lastly, we must allow the player to jump once again, so set the hasJumped variable back to no. If you test the program, then you should have jumping. That's really cool, and this is how you can take your jumping script to the next level. In the same fashion as the hasJumped variable, we will need a new one called hasDoubleJumped. This will work in the same manner. Initially, set it to be 0. We can now move over to the event detection. Basically, we must allow a double jump only when the player has already jumped and is in the air. When would this be the case? Well, it would be just when this particular condition is false. However, we need to be careful again. We can't double jump once we've already double jumped. So we need to make sure that the player has not already double jumped. The rest of the code within this event can remain the same. To finish things off, we just reset the hasDoubleJumped variable the same way that we did for the hasJumped variable. And this is it. If you test the code out, then you will have double jumping. Now, you can use this feature in every single one of your games.